United States of America is the third largest country in the world, with almost the third largest population. The country is located in North America, bordered by the Pacific Ocean to the west and the Atlantic Ocean to the east. The northern border is Canada, and the southern neighbor is Mexico. There are 50 states in the District of Columbia, and Washington, D.C. is the capital.
The United States is a federal constitutional republic, in which the President of the United States, Congress, and judiciary share powers reserved to the national government, and the federal government shares sovereignty with the state governments.
Citizens over the age of 18 elect the President and Vice President of the United States every 4 years. The President lives in the White House in Washington, D.C. The Congress has two houses, the Senate and the House of Representatives. There are 100 senators, 2 from each of the 50 states, each for a 6-year term. 435 counselors are elected every 2 years. The Supreme Court is composed of 9 judges elected by the President and must be approved by Congress.
The United States dollar is the official currency of the United States and several other countries. The Coinage Act of 1792 introduced the US dollar, at par with the Spanish silver dollar, divided it into 100 cents, and authorized the minting of coins, denominated in dollars and cents. The Washington Monument. The Washington Monument is a 202-foot obelisk in Washington, D.C., erected as a tribute to the first President of the United States, George Washington.
With high mountains in the west and a vast central plain. The lowest point of territory is located in Death Valley at -282 feet, and the highest peak is Denali, Mount McKinley, at 20,320 feet above sea level. The landscape varies across the country, from tropical beaches in Florida to the peaks of the Rocky Mountains, from rolling grasslands and arid deserts in the west to the dense wilderness of the northeast and northwest. The majestic Yosemite Valley and the Mississippi River are interspersed throughout. The fauna is as diverse as the landscape. Mammals such as bison once roamed freely on the plains, but now they only live in preserved areas. Black bears, brown bears, and polar bears are the largest carnivores which are found here. There are more than 20,000 species of flowers, most of which came from European countries. More than 400 areas are protected and maintained by the National Park Service and many other parks in every state. The national bird and symbol of the United States is bald eagle, which is a protected species.
American culture has been shaped by the history of the United States, its geography, and various internal and external forces and migrations. A member of the core Anglosphere, it is primarily of Western and European origin, particularly British and German. Yet its influences include the cultures of Asian American, African American, Latin American, and Native American peoples and their cultures. The United States has its own distinct social and cultural characteristics, such as forms of speech, literature, music, visual arts, performing arts, food, religion, law, and technology. Americans. Americans are the citizens and nationals of the United States of America. The United States is home to people of many racial and ethnic origins. Consequently, American culture and law do not equate nationality with race or ethnicity, but with citizenship and an oath of permanent allegiance. The majority of Americans or their ancestors immigrated to the United States or are descended from people who were brought as slaves within the past 5 centuries, with the exception of the Native American population and people from Hawaii, Puerto Rico, Guam, and the Philippine Islands, who became American through expansion of the country in the 19th century. Additionally, America expanded into American Samoa, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and Northern Mariana Islands in the 20th century. Summer camps. Summer camps are one of the best things about American culture. Spending the summer in the great outdoors, making friends and learning skills is formative for any child. Ghost tours. Ghost tours are incredibly popular in American cities like New Orleans, Louisiana, and Savannah, Georgia. But how often do you see them abroad? Pretty rarely. Dog birthday party. Everyone loves dogs, but Americans seem keener than anyone on treating them like humans. The latest trend that showcases this is dog birthday parties. Having few vacation days. Social media is filled with jokes comparing American and European vacation time. The gist of it is that Europeans take 3 months off to unwind and recenter, while Americans take a single day off to undergo open heart surgery, and even then they're available for calls. Road trips. Yes, other cultures participate in road trips. But because the US has such an expansive highway system, with no border patrol between states, Americans have become quite accustomed to taking road trips.
Some of the very richest Americans pay little in taxes compared with how fast their fortunes grow each year. How? They use a tax strategy known as buy, borrow, die. It's like the ultra-wealthy are living on another planet. Average people need income to pay for basics like housing and food. But the ultra-wealthy don't. They can just live on borrowed cash. Step 1. Buy. The ultra-wealthy buy an asset, or build a company, or inherit a fortune. As long as they don't sell, they owe no taxes. They keep their income as low as possible, since every dollar they earn can be taxed. Step 2. Borrow. They borrow against their holdings, and the bank gives them a really good deal.
I'll loan you $10 million with only 3% interest. But if you take a $10 million salary from your company, you'll owe almost 37% to the IRS.
So the ultra-wealthy use loan money to fund their lifestyles. That's how a billionaire can live the most luxurious life imaginable while reporting little to no taxable income. Step 3. Die. When they die, these lucky few often use complicated trusts and philanthropic foundations to avoid the estate tax. And their heirs can inherit stocks and other assets tax-free. A new generation is ultra-wealthy, and the cycle starts all over again.
The Port of Houston amounts to 284.9 million amount of cargo movement, both inward and outwards, of the U.S. This makes it the busiest foreign tonnage handling port in the entire country. Moreover, it is also the 10th busiest port facility on the global rankings. The Port of South Louisiana has been in existence since the early 1700s, with cargo operation in function since the 1940s. It ranks next to the Port of Houston in terms of overall cargo tonnage in million amount. Moreover, South Louisiana handles 60% of all the grain cargo handling that takes place in the Midwest. The Port of New York and New Jersey encloses the entire coastal area of the New York Harbor. This facility spreads over an area of 25 miles and is the largest natural harbor globally. It has direct access through the Atlantic with a channel surface of 640 miles leading to the complex. The Port of Corpus Christi stands amongst the few ports in USA with an energy conservation blueprint. Its establishment dates back to the year 1926, being the major terminal for crude oil and gas. The Port of Beaumont exists since 1908, with primary operations of military nature. However, timber cargo operations were the first commercial ones at the facility in 1912. This facility covers an area of 150 square miles and has annual revenue of $2.2 billion through commercial shipping. It's one of the few ports in the USA to entertain both merchant and defense fleet. Hence, it is also an important base for handling military goods and manufacturing products.